channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL wildcard weekend is here, guys. Already the playoff season flew by, and it was a wild season. We'll get into that shortly. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games. I don't recall the last time there was a Monday. Is it always like that? Leave a comment. I thought it was always Saturday, Sunday. I think this Monday thing could be new. Not too sure. I don't recall, to be honest. I like the format. More days with football, you can't complain. We will look at all the matchups, guys. A little shorter breakdowns on all of them, but we'll look at all of them. Give some free picks, leans, maybe some fades, and break the matchup down. Systemsportscapping.com or link.me/systemcapping for client opportunities, records, resume, client comments, and more. Currently handicapping NFL, NHL very low volume. PGA is back next week. Excited for that. One of the big weapons for the arsenal is the PGA market. And of course, arguably my best market, the UFC in 2 weeks. So high volume will be back towards the end of January. Best time to get on board is now. Let's do a regular season recap, guys. And what a wild season it has been. One for the ages, for sure. I've been handicapping betting on sports for 20 years, probably good and proper for the last 10 years, and then my professional service for the last 6, consulting service. I have never seen a wilder, more unpredictable season. I can't remember. Maybe there was, right, that I'm not remembering right now, but the future market was tough this year. Not all markets were great. And it was the lowest unit winning that I've had in a long time due to that. Let's talk some of them, right? If you predicted any of these to happen at the beginning of the year, I wouldn't believe you, to be honest. Drake May, MVP, good shot MVP. Matthew Stafford could steal that from him, but either way, Drake May's right up there to win the MVP. Not something you could predict. Impossible. I don't think anyone would have predicted, unless you're like a Pats fan. Right? You're a New England Pats fan, and for fun, you put Drake May MVP. Only way, guys. The Pats were 14-3. Definitely did not see that happening. Now, I expected them to be a lot better. I expected them to be battling for a wild card spot due to their weak strength of schedule. But 14-3, no one could see that coming. Jags 13-4. You know, a team that you're just unsure about. You don't know how they're going to come into the season. New coach, Lawrence, how's he going to be? How's that defense? They shine. They play great. And they got a shot to make a Super Bowl run here. Seahawks, number 1 power rank team. Top 10 team, sure, at the beginning of the season. But, you know, hovering in the top 10 was my outlook on them. But being the best team in the NFL, again, something you're not going to be able to predict. Especially with Sam Darnold, that quarterback, he's looked good. He's been good for them. Listen to these teams missing the playoffs. The Ravens missing the playoffs. Favorite to win the Super Bowl. No one saw that coming. The Lions missing the playoffs. Something I didn't see as well. They burnt me a lot throughout the season. Chiefs missing the playoffs. Maybe not as crazy. I expect the Chiefs to take a step back. They did. So I'm not too... Missing the playoffs is still surprising for sure. But I expected Denver or LA Chargers to win that division. And Denver did. Bears winning division, surprise. Again, I expected the Bears to be better, but not ready to win the division. Packers, tough luck. They went through some injuries. Parsons at the end of the year. So I think it could have been a little different there. But yeah, definitely didn't see the Bears winning division. Panthers winning division, maybe not as crazy, but fairly crazy, let's be honest. I didn't expect them to win the division. I thought it would be Tampa Bay or Atlanta. Some injuries with Atlanta, obviously their QB, but they just didn't play up to par. And then they'll throw in a little fantasy stat here, right? Little fantasy prediction that no one saw at the beginning of the year. Justin Jefferson, maybe the biggest first-round fantasy bust ever, guys, happened this year. No one saw that coming. Now, you weren't sure about his quarterback. So maybe you didn't draft him early because of that. Wild year. Wild year to say the least. It did affect my future market. I did have the Ravens in multiple bets. Lions I actually stayed away from, which was kind of surprising. I stayed away from like them in the future market, so happy there. But Packers screwed me. I had Packers over 9.5, stuck on 9 for 4 weeks. You could say that's a bad beat. Obviously, due to some injuries and resting guys in the final game. Just tough. Tough luck there. Also had the Bills. I had the Bills to win the division. Laid some juice on it as well. The Pats showed up. So wild year in the future market. We did hit some good futures though. Falcons over 7.5 wins just got there. Again, it just got there at the last game of the season. So, again, very surprised. I thought Falcons nine win or 10 win team. Definitely did not get there. And then I had Denver over 9.5. That was probably my best future win. They got there by what? Week 14? Week 15? So that got there easily. First time in a long time, no profit in the futures market, guys. Now, we have some pending playoff futures. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, transparency, right? Again, long-term record. I've been profitable in the futures market, documented 5 of the last 6 years. So crazy year, like I mentioned. Hard to predict that. We were highlighted, of course, by the underdog market hitting at around 72% on the year, guys. Underdog market plus money, right? Anywhere from 1 to 3 underdogs per week. I did pass, I think, on 1 or 2 weeks. Keep that in mind. But hey, can't. Only one year I had a better record. And that was a wild underdog. I don't even know how I got to there, to be honest, guys. It was 80% in the underdog market. You're not going to see that long term as a successful rate every year. It's impossible. Even 72%, a lot of people won't be able to achieve long term. This was just a season. But underdog segment, guys, every year has been very profitable. Spreads for clients, we ended up at around 64%. Very happy with that for the spread market. Anytime you're, especially for spreads, anytime you're in like low 60s, mid 60s, 70% 1 year, I had that very difficult to handicap 70% spread market. But yeah, very happy with the spread market. Player prop market, teaser market weren't profitable on the year, hovering around 55% in those markets, a little lower. Not great on the year for those two markets. So not happy with the 2025 season from a betting standpoint. Happy about some markets, of course, but looking for a big playoff here. I already have a couple bets pending in the market. We may talk about some of those as well. Before we get into those, though, and the game breakdowns, we got to have a Raven rant. 4th of the year, the Ravens rant. Firing John Harbaugh, we'll start there. It was a must, guys. You'll see a lot of reports out there. Why did they do it? They shouldn't have done it. He's one of the best coaches. Yes, was one of the best coaches. He's been there for 18 years, guys. You need sometimes a change in the locker room, a new voice, and that's what they're doing here. Probably getting a younger guy. You hear some rumblings that the locker room wasn't buying in. Some guys weren't buying in. I don't think Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh had a great relationship. That's from what I'm kind of reading and my assumption from watching the games. So I think it was time to move on. He's been one of the best coaches in the NFL for a long time. I get that. But sometimes you need a new voice, some fresh eyes. And you saw they underachieved the Ravens, especially this year, right? You go 3-6 at home. You lose to Pittsburgh Steelers twice. You're out of here. So I get it. It'll be interesting to see who they get. I'll be watching that throughout the offseason. They already have some interviews lined up. I can see a Jesse Minter, Brian Flores, Anthony Weaver, Minter. There's some options out there. Kubiak. There's a lot of good options Interesting to see what happens. You know, Zach Orr has to go. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Moncton. Maybe he'll get a head coaching spot somewhere, but if not, maybe they bring him back, depending on the head coach, because usually head coaches will bring over guys. So it'll be interesting. Let's see what they do there. But yes, the Ravens, let's go to the game. What can you say? I love them against the Steelers in that spot. It was a great spot, coming off a big win. Steelers banged up on offense, no Metcalf. And then what happens? Something always happens, it seems. You got to look at like a luck standpoint in these games too, guys. There is a lot of luck involved in these games, right? Who would have thought Kyle Hamilton would have been gone for the whole second half, out with a concussion by hitting his own player? That defense changes drastically when he's not there, and Aaron Rodgers took advantage. Right, able to score multiple touchdowns in the second half. Then Awuzie slips. Austin 30-yard touchdown because he slipped. It's just tons. There's a lot of bad luck with these guys. And then the missed field goal at the end when Lamar Jackson played Superman. And then the rookie kicker missed the 44-yarder. What can you say, guys? In that type of spot, Ravens win 9 out of 10 times. Steelers win that one time due to all the Ravens' blunders throughout the game. Steelers, got to give them hats off. I think defensively, they played pretty good at times. They were able to take away Lamar Jackson at times, especially in that first half, but Lamar Jackson went off in the second half. So all of this, guys, I do believe this coaching change needed to happen, and excited to see this team moving forward. Let's get into these games. Like the video if you're watching on YouTube, guys. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, share it. It is much appreciated. Saturday games, Rams minus 10.5 at Panthers. Total 46.5. The largest road favorite, guys, in NFL playoff history. Wild. Right? Remember, guys, Carolina beat them 31-29 about a month ago at home in Carolina. So, yeah, I don't believe it's going to be the same type of game. I don't see Carolina scoring 31 points again. But I do believe they can hang around and cover this 10.5. Maybe lose by 7. Maybe lose by 10. So the only way I could look if I were to play a spread here would be the plus 10.5 on the Panthers. Yeah, Rams are going to win this game. You can look at Rams in the teaser market. I would be shocked if the Panthers won this game outright. The money line will tell you that. What is it? Probably plus 700, plus 800. I haven't looked at the money line yet. Carolina has been much better at home, 5-3 on the road compared to the 3-6 record. And, you know, Rams on the road, only 5-4. It's worth mentioning. So not as good as a team on the road. That's why this 10.5, I think, is too much. Devontae Adams will be back. Huge for that offense. Huge. He looked like his old self at times this year, especially a big-time red zone threat. This will be big time for the Rams. For prop market, look at, say, McMillan over. I think he should have a big game. Coker last game had a big game, over 70. He had 74 yards in that one. Hubbard was able to run the ball well as well. So, yeah, you could see this game being also high scoring as well. The first game was, right, it was in the 60s. You're seeing a 46.5, so lean the total over. But, yeah, 10.5 is very difficult to lay on the road, even though I do like the Rams to win this game. Panthers plus 10.5. Only way I could look in this one. Green Bay -1 versus Bears, total 55.5. Probably the most excited for this one. What a Saturday night game we have here, right? And it is very difficult to handicap for multiple reasons. It probably will be staying away from it personally. The line tells you that, right? -1 Green Bay, Packers on the road. Line open 1.5, 2. Some money has been coming on the Chicago Bears. Last time we saw Packers win a game was against the Chicago Bears. And it was a month ago. But then they lost 2 weeks later to Chicago Bears at home. At the time, I believe Parsons was out. for the game they lost. I believe he was there for the game they won. Sorry, vice versa. The game that the game the Packers won was a month ago. So they would have had Parsons, I believe. I believe he was still there. And then they lost to Chicago without Parsons. And this team is drastically different without Parsons on defense, guys. Ravens proved that just 2 weeks ago. Green Bay rest guys last week, so you can't take too much into that. But they're coming into this game on a 4-game losing streak? Yeah. There's no momentum. Now, Bears lost back-to-back as well. That's something worth mentioning as well, right? Both teams are kind of coming into this game not playing their best football. Also another reason I don't like this, right? Also, Green Bay rest guys. Jordan Love hasn't played for 3-4 weeks. A lot of things that are just giving me, a stay away caution sign here. For podcast purpose, I always do give out a play, right? Even if I bet it or not. I'm going to take the Bears here just because they're at home, to be honest. And, teams resting guys doesn't always work out. Green Bay's a little banged up. Give me the Bears here at home as a lean. Not going to make my client card, though. I do believe this is a 50-50 style flip of a coin game. Bills -1 versus Jags. Another tough game to handicap here, guys. Total 52. Another one road favorite by 1. Right? Bills' case, they've been there, done that, made runs in the playoffs, haven't got to that big game yet. Jags' first appearance kind of, with this core team, the coach, rookie coach of the Jags, Lawrence. Finally, Lawrence has a rose from the dead, if you want to say, right? Rose from the dead. He's finally proving any of his haters wrong this year. Excellent year from him. Maybe the coaching change had a lot to do with that. These two didn't play this year. No head-to-head look at. Last time was Bills winning 47-10. That was a few years ago. I'm actually going to lean the Bills here on the road just due to the playoff experience. But this, again, I'm staying away from this one. I believe the team that wins this game makes the Super Bowl run, guys. I believe they have a good shot to make that Super Bowl run. Tested in that first game. And this, I believe, is fairly close to a 50-50 game as well, just like the Chicago Bears-Packers game. Total's a bit high at 52. Both these teams can score. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets over the 52, but I'd have to lean the under here just due to a playoff game. But very excited for this one. I'll be looking at some Allen props over for sure, especially in the rushing market if it's low. If it's in the low 30s, I would definitely take a look at there. Cook probably have a big game. Cook anytime touchdown's always a good play. Yeah, this is a great game. Another great game. Right up there with the Bears and Packers, the most intriguing to watch. Again, from a betting standpoint, I don't love it. Don't love it. But can't wait to watch it. 49ers versus Eagles. Another great game, guys. Eagles -4.5. There's some 5s out there. Money has been coming on the Eagles heavily. This opened up at 3.5. Total 44.5 in this game. I get the Eagles money coming in, Super Bowl champions, playoff proven team with pretty much the same team. I get it. They're at home. But this 49ers offense, if it's clicking, and I think the 49ers offense looking poorly against Seattle. Seattle, one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think that kind of played a factor in here as well into the spread. So I'm going to, look at this game from 49ers standpoint. Should get Trent Williams back, should get Ricky Pearsall. Look into that. That's going to be big, especially Trent Williams on the O-line. Look into that. Eagles struggles on offense all year. I don't really know what to take. You just don't know what Eagles team is going to show up, right? That's what's very difficult. And the resting guys coming to this game as well. That's something worth mentioning. I believe San Francisco is going to be able to score on this Eagles defense. Besides that Seattle game, the 49ers were cooking. Brock Purdy looked great. Now, against lower level competition and worse defenses. I get it. But Eagles defense is not great, guys. Now, may turn a step up in the playoffs. I can definitely see that happening. I do believe Eagles should win a close game here, but give me the plus 4.5, 5 with the 49ers. I think it's a close game. And Eagles, what they do, they win close games, right? So that's why I can't go all in on the 49ers as a nice, fairly large underdog here. You would be able to get them at. But yeah, Eagles win the game. I think 49ers hang around, give me the points. Chargers versus Pats. Pats -4, total 46.5. Good game here as well. Pats are the rightful favorites. Obviously, being at home, great season. The concern still, this is going to be the second best team they played all season, right? Bills, Ravens, Bucks, best wins. For the Pats, two of those teams didn't make the playoffs. They should have lost that Ravens game. So, how good are the Pats? And here's Drake May, first playoff experience. A lot of young guys on this team. Harbaugh will be ready. We'll have this Chargers team ready. Only way I can look at Chargers +4 if I were to bet this game. Big time game. I love this game. See how good the Pats really are. I think this will tell a lot. I expect some points in this game, 46.5. I would lean the over, but it's a little high. Chargers defense has been great, guys. Minter and company. That's why Minter's getting a lot of looks for head coaching because he brought this Chargers defense in, top 5 in a lot of categories. So I think the Chargers defense could maybe limit this Patriots offense a little bit. And if they do, Chargers have a shot to win this game outright. Don't rule them out of this game. So I'm not ready to play the money line, but I do like that +4 with the Chargers. Monday Night Football, Texans -3.5 versus the Steelers. Total 49.5 in Pittsburgh. They get the home because they won the division. And Texans did not due to the Jags. Some money has been coming in on the Steelers, guys. See some threes out there. I believe Houston's pass rush, though, and the D is just going to be too much for this Steelers offense, guys. They do get Metcalf back, yes. But this Houston's defense has been historically good. Very good. Best defense in the NFL this season, guys. And big reasons due to the 2 pass rushers they have on the corners, guys. Right? And their secondary is excellent as well. Yes, the offense could stall at times. I think Stroud been playing a lot better, though, towards the end of the season. They have some big-time weapons. I think they found Marks, big-time running back. And then, obviously, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, Nico Collins. I think they've been their tight end's been a lot involved as well in Schultz. I think their offense is good enough, right? It's not great. I think it's just good enough, but that defense wins them games, guys. And I think that defense can be too much for the Steelers offense. Now, I get it could be a close game, right? If I had to bet the -3.5, I would actually take Pittsburgh +3.5. I think Houston could win a 3-point game just due to their offense. I don't think their offense could put up a large number, right? Especially on the road here in Pittsburgh, even though Houston has been fairly good on the road. So Houston will be the play to win the game. But yeah, I'll lean the Steelers +3.5. I have to bet a spread. Total 39.5. Very difficult. It's low, but wouldn't be surprised if it does get under, just due to the Houston's defense. Teaser options. We did end the year strong in the market. We did hit a teaser. This week will be Bears +8 at home, 7-point teaser, and 49ers +12, +12.5, depending your number out there. 7-point teaser. Those are my 2 favorite this weekend. Underdogs. This might be the last time we talk about underdogs because it'll start. Well, I might like one next week, depending. But, the games are limited. Usually I'm picking between, 14 games, whatever it is. And now it's more limited. I think there's multiple teams that have shots to win this as an outright. Obviously, besides the Carolina, any of these teams could win outright as dogs, even though I do like them more on the spread, taking the plus the points. But we talked about, Bears at home, small dog. I think that's probably the more likely one out of all of them. I think the 49ers are alive. I think the Chargers are alive. Steelers as well. But I do believe the Bears would be my favorite at home. It's a small dog, of course, plus 105 or whatever it is out in the market. But that would be my favorite and the official play for the podcast, followed by the 49ers, Chargers. Yeah, I like Houston to win the game. So 49ers, Chargers, more of a longer shot, but they're live. Wouldn't be shocked if they win the game. That will do it, guys. That will do it. We will be back next week. UFC will be back in a couple weeks. So busy time of the season. I love January and February. You got playoff football, all sports kind of going. So it's a great time to be alive. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy this week.